Hey everyone, it's Mace1370. It's been a little while since I've done an RTA climb video, so I thought I would do one of those. Before we get into it though, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, please see the video description below for a link to my Discord. Alright, so I haven't done a ton of matches this season, but the meta is pretty fun. It's very aggressive. So I've been pre-banning AOL and Bellion, which helps you play aggressively. It would be nice if you could also throw a Politis ban in there as well, but you only get two. So here we're against a player I'm not really familiar with. We get first pick, so I can take Conquer Lilius. I think she's still a good first pick. I'm still testing this out with a lot of the changes they've made recently. She's definitely a little more difficult to draft than she used to be. Part of that is the fact that everyone now has Degen Politis ready to slam when you play her, and that's pretty annoying. Also, Conquer Lilius has been out for a while, so people are pretty well adapted, to dealing with her if they let her through. And Moon Bunny Dominial, throw that into the mix. So there's a lot more answers to her now than there used to be, but I feel like she's still quite oppressive, if you can play her. So the opponent responds here with Dian and Huayong. This is a pretty standard, response from the opponent. They're just taking a fast unit and some sort of anchor. So we can take Operator Sigrid and DJ Basar. Op Sig is really going to threaten the Huayong. With anti-crit, on the field with Dian, that can be a little dicey, but we have Conquer Lilius to outspeed and provoke the Dian. So I think right now, we've established the speed lead. It's kind of up to the opponent to go above us. DJ Basar is really nice for this type of thing because he insulates you from a lot of, cheesy debuffs and stuff like that, like Payras, that could potentially threaten unbuffable on your team and outspeeding your Lilius, etc. So he takes Green Sid and Faithless Litica, which is kind of an interesting combination. So the Green Sid, threatening to push Dian above Conquer Lilius speed, and the Faithless Litica, I guess just to AoE and pull the Op Sig out, maybe reset someone. I don't know if I really love the Litica pick here from the opponent. So we can go Sage Ball and Spec Tenny, because he has no real good reach for this Stenny, right? And Sid has no good kill targets, to be honest. So I don't think we need to ban Sid. I'm debating about banning Ida here, but actually I realize he really only has one enabler for Ida, which is DN, so we can just ban that. And we should outspeed. Both my Conquer Lilius and my DJ Basar are very fast, so they should outspeed the Flitica. Even if Sid takes the first turn, if this is like a turbo fast Sid or something, then that shouldn't matter because he can't kill anyone, right? Because my Squishy is on Guiding Light, and we also have Sage Ball to, kind of cut even a very fast Flitica as well. So I guess the only way this goes super bad for us if this guy has like a 310 Flitica or something like that, which I don't think is the case. So we can just ban out the DN. And we get first turn here. Let's check the CR bar. So this actually is a very fast Faithless Litica, but not that fast. So we can attack down the team. Even though Sid and Faithless Litica are both cutting, we don't need to provoke the Sid because he has attack down, so he wasn't going to kill anything anyways, but provoking the Litica here is just going to seal the deal. And then DJ Basar can push the rest of the team up and we just murder him from there. Yep, so that's game. I also think I forgot to specify earlier, like all my previous, RTA climb videos, these games are played in sequence. They may not all be in one sitting, but they are, in order, so to speak. So let's see here. We have first pick again. The opponent has banned out Ravi and Huayong, so two bruisers off the table. This guy likes ML Ken, I respect it. He's a pretty cool character, and he's chosen a nice, frame to complement, the color palette and the Ken unit design. So well done, Ken. He responds with Politis and a Lionheart Sirmia. So that, kind of indicates that they want to tank down, in response to the Conquer Lilius pick. So we can take ML Cowrick here, I think pretty safely, right? So we're not really threatened by a cleave, and that's one of the big things that you think about when you take Cowrick. If you take him and people go over the top either with aggro or cleave, that's one of the main ways you die when you pick ML Cowrick. But the fact that he's taken Lionheart, Sirmia, and Hippolytus here indicate to me that he is going to be playing a defensive game. So we can take ML Cowrick, and now we need a DPS, I think. And the DPS needs to be able to do a large amount of damage and kill Lionheart, Sirmia. And I think, like, I don't pick Rimuru very often, but I think Rimuru is not bad here. Little awkward in Hippolytus, right? Because Hippolytus is going to reduce his CR push on his S2. But, you know, if the opponent's playing a slow game, I think he'll still get the turn. And he'll really threaten the Lionheart, Sirmia. An alternative would maybe be to take Adventurer Ross 3 and then try to play a solo DPS game, which I think is a little risky. You could potentially do it, but the opponent has last pick, and I don't like doing that because it can put you in a position where you have no good options, depending on what he takes. 3 and 4 here, basically. So let's see. They take Aras and Spectre Tenebria. Okay, so Spectre means we need AoE damage, and here's another hero I don't pick very often, but I think it's viable. If we take Sylvan Sage Vivian, I think that's good. I'm just thinking if there's anything else I want. Yeah, I think Sylvan Sage is good here. She's on lifesteal, so she can be, an anchor / carry unit. And now we need one more. I was debating, about Arcdemon Mercedes, but I think she's very slow, and there's a danger that I just get run over if I do that, which it may not look like that could happen given my opponent's draft, but if there's like a unlucky dual attack and it activates Sirmia, and the opponent is able to use Ras skill 2 into like Spectre and then Spectre Soul Burns, like that could be a lot of damage on a single target in the beginning of the match, and I don't have mitigation, so I elect for taking Ida. She gets banned anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I think Ida was a good pick because that that really threatens the opponent here. They have no revive. I can boost up with Lilius and cut Hippolytus because we get the double boost, right? So Ida I think would be very scary for the opponent. So they kind of have to ban either Ida or conquer Lilius. Hard for them to ban Lilius given the fact that they took Sirmia. I guess Rimmer technically activates her, but either way. So we can provoke Hippolytus here. It doesn't really matter if we land that or not, since we have ML Cowrick. I think we might as well just rip this, right? Get some buffs up. Okay, we have Vivian, so we can skill 3. I think this is the most buffs I've had in a while. Her skill 3 animation is super awesome also. I really like how they kind of blend the CGI and the art together. It works really well. One of my criticisms of some of the earlier animations is they just kind of have like black backgrounds, which I think that would be like okay for a skill 2 animation, but for a skill 3, like it should look cool, I think. So Ras gets to go here. I assume he puts up defense buff. Looks like he does. Alright, so we have Rimuru. So I make a mistake here. I soul burn. This was a waste. I should have used the souls or saved the souls for Vivian. I kind of assumed that she would get enough souls by the time she took a turn.
Are you sure you can handle this?
But I don't think that's the case. Another thing here, I used it on Ras, and this is, again, it just shows my inexperience of using Rimuru, because like I never draft this hero. It's been a while. Since he was at least meta for me, that was like pre-frenzy change, right? And so he does a lot less damage to red units now, which is, very unintuitive because you look at his skill and it says like element neutral, so you assume that the red unit wouldn't take less damage, but the frenzy change supersedes that, which is, it's weird. So if you were looking at the damage numbers there, didn't do the full 10k extra splash, right, that it should have. So I probably should have just used it on Sirmia, and if she procced her shield, or if it procced Aras's shield, big deal, because then Sirmia would give it to me, right, because she would attack and I would steal it from her. So I think that would have been a better play to go on Sirmia. I think it works out, it's still okay, because Ras is dead now. but yeah, not the best. Because now we don't have to, but I mean, we would really like to strip here with Cowrick, and we do, so that was good. And see, I should have souls here, and I don't. So normally I would soul burn here with Vivian, and that would just kill Spectenny, so big mistake, but again, I don't think it matters. Yeah, that's game.
Evaluation is critical. Is this Ugh, I'm bored.
Okay, going against Kukubot, he first picks Spectre Tenebria. We can take Conquer Lilius, and I think like a neutral pick, so FCC could be good. Or not FCC, I'm sorry. Faithless Lidica could be good. Let's see, Hwyong is banned. Aravi could be okay, but Conquer Lilius and Aravi, it just kind of feels like you lack damage sometimes when you do that. You know, if they shift into standard and you want to shift with them or something, yeah, I don't know. So I'm debating about other things other than Faithless Lidica. We could take ML Cowrick if we wanted to play more standard, I suppose. But I think Lidica's fine here. You know, she has Guiding Light, so she's hard to get to. He takes Ran. I was kind of hoping to flex into that later on in the draft. Okay, then he takes Maid Chloe. That's unexpected. I'm not really used to playing into Maid. I think actually he takes it pretty frequently, but it's just not a hero I'm used to playing against. So options. We could take Landy potentially, but then he could like mill him Carrot or mill him in some other fire unit and then just ban our last. So that's a little awkward. So I guess if we take Landy, we probably need to take a blue unit to defend against that. There aren't a ton that are coming to mind. There's like Rem. I mean, you can take Summer Break Charlotte. There you go. That'd be awesome. But she's pretty slow. So maybe not. I think we take Designer a little bit for sure. That'll counter the Rayon. You know, like looking at it now, I guess I could have taken Sylvan Sage Vivian again. You know, she does provide reach to Spectre. We have Lidica to boost her up and help get her a turn. The defense break from Rand's a little spooky, but we already have the Designer, right, to prevent that. I take APOC, though, which was just a horrible pick. So I've kind of lost the draft at this point because I took APOC. I think it was okay until then. Oh, I guess Blood Moon Haste would be another option. You know, he doesn't really have mitigation. I guess now he does with LQC, but I feel like Designer Lilibet plus Blood Moon Haste S3 plus Flitica S2 S3 could probably get a kill on at least the Ran, right? For sure, that's got to kill Ran. Because I know he has a tanky one, but still. And that would start the cycle of, you know, activating Blood Moon Haste's passive with Maid Chloe. LQC's a little spooky. I mean, we have Faithless Lidica to reset her. So we have an answer for her on board already. I take Opsig, which was, I think, really bad. I needed something a little more proactive, like, honestly, even like Closer Charles or something like that. And then we could have banned FCC, and I think it would have been better. But yeah, definitely not Opsig, because now we put ourselves in a position where he can just ban our Conquer Lilius, and we have no, like, initial tempo. So I'm debating if I want to ban FCC or if I want to ban Maid. I just decided to ban Maid and just hope I can kill something. But I think we're pretty dead because we screwed up. The last two picks were just really bad. There's a lot of things we could have done, potentially like Blood Moon Haste or maybe even Landy. So this won't kill anything because he's a tank ran. We also have Guiding Light. If he uses it, it procs Designer Lilibet. But he has all those FCC shields, so it's just like way too much for us to punch through. We don't have attack buff.
How dare you interrupt my work? You'll pay for the dress you ruined with your life.
Okay, so that pushes up. We definitely skill 2 here to get rid of the immunity. And I think we reset LQC because we have APOC, so that's our anchor. And I think this could put us in a position, like, this looks bad, but we're going to skill 3 with OpSig. That'll push him back a bit and give us attack buff. We can reset LQC here. And I think we could be okay. Like, this is super sketchy, but I think there is a chance we win, or, you know, we could win. Like, I don't think this is going to kill anything with FCC plus LQC. It definitely doesn't. So I've noticed that my OpSig did not Guiding Light, which I think loses us the game, unfortunately. So I just click something. I waste my Abravi skill 3 here. I was kind of distracted by the fact that OpSig didn't go into Guiding Light. Because now he can just take the skill null away and just kill her with Stenny. And I guess Stenny, yeah, so Stenny can just skill 3 here. So if we had Guiding Lighted, then, excuse me, this would have to go into APOC. And I think we could have been okay, like, our Guiding Light units would have stayed hidden. Alrighty, well, next game. I guess we have first pick this time. This is interesting. So a DJB and Conquer Lilius pre-ban. I wonder if that's his normal pre-bans or if he targeted those to me. I haven't played him a ton, but I have been playing both Conquer Lilius and DJB a lot. Maybe other people have as well. Well, I guess we have to do something different. So 2 of those openers are off the table. I think we either just grab, like, hand guy first and go standard. I'm just going to take DN. I think this is safer, because I don't know if Sushi cleaves or not. He might. Looks like he's another ML Ken enjoyer, though. So we'll see what he does here. So yeah, he takes ML Cowrick. So it looks like he wants to play standard. Okay, then he takes Apocalypse Ravi. So I don't really want to play standard in ML Cowrick. APOC is interesting. We can take Spectre Tenebria and Faithless Litica here. I think these are 2 kind of safe DPS. They both hide, right? So they hard to kill them, and they're both good into APOC. Okay, here's FCC. OpSig is a little awkward of a pick here for me because now it's even more awkward. I was going to say before, you know, with Faithless Litica going first, kind of incentivizes you to not strip anything so that you can use OpSig S2. But now there's a Para, so he's speed. He's competing for speed. But he has a solo APOC DPS with, you know, like 2 tanks essentially. Like, he can give her attack buff, but, you know, we also have Faithless Litica to reset something. And we have DN, so this is like solo APOC into DN, who can just put anti-crit up, and APOC is going to do like almost nothing. It's interesting. So I think here what we need to do is we need to take something to counteract Pyrrha. We can't take DJB, which is what I would want to take. So instead, I think we just take any cleanser, I think, just to get rid of the debuffs. So, and then we take a DPS that can kill APOC, so we just pick LQC, I guess. And that also gives us some mitigation, and then we can take Amelia. I kind of panicked here at the end just to grab something. It took me a little while to kind of formulate the plan, like, what do I do against this? So yeah, we just banned last year for sure. So either we have plenty of cleanse for Pyrrha, or we have LQC. So I think actually his best ban here is probably either Amelia or DN. And then bank on the Pyrrha control. He bans LQC. Which, yeah, I mean, because I think even if you banned Amelia, I think there's a really good chance that you press Piera buttons and then DN goes into skill 2s. So to get around that, you'd have to like R and L with Piera or something, and then stun DN, right, without soul burn, which has happened to me on many occasions, but I think is kind of like a long shot play. So here, I think our plan is basically just cycle and blow things up and ignore APOC. We can time or try to time the anti-crit buff from DN a little later in the match so that it's up once APOC, you know, is going to be interested in using skill 3.
Goblet of oak. Heed my call.
Okay, so here's the... Oh, and there's the RNL. So I assume he will go for a DN stun. He does. Doesn't get it, but then he gets the dual attack from Hand Guy to push up FCC. So that's unfortunate. So he can provoke Faithless Litica, which we cannot cleanse because there's already 2 debuffs on her. So that was pretty awesome. But we still cleanse off here because this will hopefully let us go back into Guiding Light, which we do. So now we just get to push somebody up. I guess we just push up Litica so that we can strip buffs away. Man, that was such a bad dual attack for us because we would have gotten a turn with Litica. She would have stripped off these barriers and then she could have reset Hand Guy, and he wouldn't get immunity and attack buff for his entire team. I guess we just rip skill 3 into FCC and start working her down.
I will step on you. Step back.
I guess you could also just throw it into APOC and try to get some of the proof stacks to go away.
Are you here to capture me?
Okay, well, might as well strip the buffs away now. And the question is, who do we reset? The game answers that for us by not letting us strip the immunity from Hand Guy or from a Ravi. So we will strip, or we will reset Fallen Cecilia, which is fine. I think, honestly, I might have reset her anyways. I think APOC, though, would have maybe been the safer choice. You know, that way he can't... We can just more aggressively kill things. We don't have to worry about that. No, we didn't Guiding Light. That's okay. APOC is still quite far back. We can just cleanse away and put up another barrier here with Amelia.
In the name of the goddess.
And I guess now is an okay time to do this. We kind of need to, because we don't want, hypothetically, Faithless Litica to get crit a bunch or something and die before she can go back into Guiding Light. I think she's fine, though. Okay, he goes for the Soulburn stun. We can't cleanse, so we'll just poke Piera. FCC can go. I guess she can... No, she can't put up skill. No, we reset her. He can provoke someone, or try to provoke someone. He goes on DN. He lands the provoke.
You want to try me?
So let's see here. I think we need to kill this Piera. There might be merit for waiting because we don't want APOC to get a good skill 3, but we have anti-crit up now, so I think now is when we make our move. Okay, Pierre's down. FCC's almost dead. So this is perfect. We've killed one thing and we have anti-crit. So APOC, I don't think is a huge threat right now. I don't think APOC can kill anything. Probably even if APOC does crit, it doesn't kill, but we also have anti-crit, so it becomes kind of a coin flip. And we'll have it for one more turn cycle as well. He gets the crit, but he does not kill. Okay, that's game. Alrighty, next is a game against Snow X. Okay, this interesting set of pre-bans here. Full confession, I think I played against him a while ago and he drafted DN, so I was like, oh, I'll just ban that. And then he must have remembered what I did or something, because he pre-bans Bunny and Politis, and then he takes a Conquer Lilius, so I guess all is fair in love and war. He gets the Conk first, so we can take APOC and DJB here. You know, I think APOC and DJB is a fair enough response to Conquer Lilius, because you can threaten a Ran cleave. You know, you can go Ran plus something here, depending on what the opponent has. So he has Hand Guy and Huayang. So you know, Ida would be good against what he has so far, but he has 2 more picks. So if we go Ida, he probably slams double green, and that could be kind of problematic for us, depending on what the green units are. I mean, it would probably be like a Senya and something else, and that could be bad. I guess we'd probably ban the Senya, and what would the other green unit be? It could be Alencia. I guess we could maybe kill Alencia, but could be tough. So I kind of I would like Ida, but I'm a little afraid of the double green. So I think instead I want to take something more safe. So I'm going to take Flitica here. She's fast, so she can follow up on a Ran skill 3 and S2 into defense break, and I imagine do a lot of damage. So I think that's okay. And we have DJB also, so assuming we get these 4 right and he bans the last pick, then you get that combo. You get to, you know, skill 3 with Ran, and then you can push up with DJB and then skill 2 with Flitica.
Who are you people?
And then, you know, we can take Ida or whatever last, depending on what he does. Okay, he takes Spirit Ice Celine. Interesting. So I assume the Spirit Ice Celine is on the Secret Art Swordstorm thing, right, to cut. So you have to be a little careful about that. And they usually speed tune her between like 260 and 280 is what I've seen. I guess it depends on, you know, like the quality of gear you want to put on her.
Ridiculous.
Okay, then he takes Sage Ball. Interesting. So we need something here. We need a must ban, because we can ban Conquer here and beat the rest with the 4 we have, I think. But we need to get the 4 we have. So we're gonna take Inferno Kawazu, or some people call him Gucci Slides. The man himself. So I think he's actually pretty good here for a couple reasons. If Ball S2s, it's going to activate his passive, and then he can, you know, boost up and do things. You know, he can one-shot Huayang with the burns. He can also one-shot Celine with the burns. And in a later match, you know, if like it went to that, we could theoretically use him to burn Celine later and kill her that way. So I think he's pretty threatening here. And now we can ban the Conqueror. He bans Inferno Kawazu. So I think this is a win for us, because most Sage Balls do not have effectiveness. I guess I'm betting on that. If this is an effectiveness Sage Ball, I could be in big trouble, because then it would sleep DJB.
I'll take down anyone who interferes with me.
But we have like over 100 ER on DJB, and most Sage Balls are not super high F. They're usually high ER. We don't want to skill 2 here, because it would boost up Celine. So we're just going to skill 3. And this actually puts Stigma on her, which is pretty nice. So I think even if she does boost, it'll be less. He claps, sleeps the team, but he can't sleep DJB, so Ball is useless. Now we can just boost.
Losing to us is an honor.
And I want to skill 2 with Faithful Slitica if I can, but you have to check the CR bar when you do this, because if anyone's at 100%, they may cut her. Spirit Ice Celine's at 99, so we can safely skill 2 here, and we'll go back to 100%. Yeah, and that's game. Okay, that'll be all for now. Thanks for watching.